We built the Leaf Village from Naruto in just 4 hours. I did a 4-hour build challenge with two of the best map makers in the world, Wertandrew and Kurma. For this challenge, we decided to let my community decide what we were gonna build. I gave you guys 3 options on a poll, and it was clear that you guys wanted us to build the Leaf Village. So we divided up our responsibilities. Kurma was gonna do the sculptures up on the Hokage mountain, where Andrew was gonna build out the entire Leaf Village, and I worked on the main Hokage building. So here's how we did this entire build. It's crazy, and then I'm gonna take you on a tour of the Leaf Village. Let's go. The first step in any build is to make sure you have a good plan and a good outline for where your builds are gonna go. This is particularly important when you're building with other people in a 4-hour build challenge. That way you're not building over each other and everyone knows where their assigned areas are. And while my outline here looks oddly similar to Mickey Mouse, it was enough so everyone knew where to build. Now, instead of building the Hokage's building first, I felt like building the gateway and the wall that surrounds the Hokage's building was more important to start with. That way Kurma and Wertandrew had a better point of reference as they built out their respective things. Now, after I'd finished the gate, building the wall was pretty simple. I just had to build one section of it and then copy it all the way around the area that I had outlined. Once I'd finished the wall, it was time to move on to the main Hokage building. I used the round piece that you can find in the lighthouse gallery and just blew it up as big as it could go. And after lining it up with my outlines, I found that the actual pieces weren't lining up perfectly. So instead of trying to force everything together, I just put a white pillar over the gaps. That way it looks like a cool accent. And I also didn't waste a lot of time trying to make it all a perfect circle. I used the circle trick to make the roof of the building. And if you don't know how to do the circle trick, there is a video on my channel explaining how to do that. Then I made the next level the exact same as I did the base. I just made it a little bit smaller so that the building tiered up towards the top of the building. While I was doing all of this, Wertandrew was working on the main city, and he had just made 3 different style buildings and then spread them out over where the city would be. In the meantime, I was debating over whether to use this bone from the monster gallery or a clean wall piece from the princess gallery for the top accent piece of the Hokage building. We decided to go for the clean look, and then it was just adding accents and doorways and windows and all of that detail to the main building, and the main part of the building was pretty much done. Wertandrew continued to fill in the village with a variety of buildings. He used different roof colors and roof styles to really bring out the rest of the village. And then Kurma all this time had been working on building a base for the different faces that would go up on the mountain above the Hokage building. Having a good foundation face really made it easy to make them look unique at the end of the build, which I'll show in a minute. I moved on to the Mickey Mouse ears part of the building. For this, I decided just to copy the top tier of the main building over onto the sides. This made it really easy and quick to do, and it actually made the building feel like it was proportionally correct. Then I had some trees popping out of those buildings, and notice Wertandrew was going to town on trees in the village. He had been working really hard on making Main Street look really unique and cool, and then started filling in the rest of the Leaf Village with trees so that it really started to feel like the Leaf Village. I really love this part of a build when it's starting to come together and starting to look like you want it to look like, and this was that point where I was like, oh, this is awesome! I had finished the main Hokage building and decided it was time to build the wall that would surround the entire Leaf Village. I used this red wall from the Pueblo prefabs, and I just blew it up as big as it could go, and then I kind of built a little octagon around the city. I wanted to do a circle, but it would be too difficult trying to line it all up with the city, so having an octagon shape was just fine for me. Kurma had finally moved his base faces up to Hokage Mountain, and Wertandrew had pretty much finished the Leaf Village, so he went up to help sculpt all of the original faces so that it looked really cool. While they were sculpting, I felt like we really needed to fill in the rest of the terrain surrounding the village so that it wasn't just an empty grid out there. So I used some of the tips that Chase Jackman taught me in my video about how to do terrain in creative mode, which you can go look up, by the way. And then I copied and pasted that mountain in a rough circle surrounding the entire map, and then filled in the rest with trees. Copying and pasting is your best friend in creative mode, guys. You can do so much so quickly just by copying and pasting large amounts of trees or terrain or whatever it is you're trying to do to fill in gaps. We were running low on time, and I had to face one of my greatest fears: sculpting in creative mode. I'm a terrible sculptor, but we just needed to get these faces done on the Hokage mountain. So I did did my best on this face, and Wertandrew cleaned up some of it after. One of the things I love about the 4-hour build challenge is that it challenges me to do things I'm not comfortable with. Then with the few minutes we had remaining, we threw in some details around the city like power lines and carts and crates and all that good stuff, and we were done. All right, guys, I'm gonna take you on a little tour of this map. You can see the code for it is right here. It's also in the description below. Now, this is just an artistic build, but there may be a game mode at some point in the future. If Kurma ever adds a game mode to it, I'll add that code in the description below as well. All right, so we've got our names right here, and then you look up. Oh man, I love that entrance. It looks so freaking cool. The gates are always open to the Leaf Village, and then I just love all these like really unique buildings that Wertandrew made. Like I love the roofs, and then we've got like blue roofs and green roofs and brown roofs. Man, these buildings are so cool, man. Wert did just such a good job filling in this entire city. I mean, look at it. It looks so awesome. Now, if you run around too much in this city, you're gonna find some gaps and holes and stuff. Or you can see like the floors have placed off a little bit. You know, that's what happens in the 4-hour build challenge. You just get things that aren't perfect. But for the most part, this is absolutely amazing. This whole city. All right, let's get down to the main building and the mountain up there. We'll take a closer look at those sculptures up there. Okay, so the main building. Whoa, we got some floating grass in here. I did not put that there. I don't know what happened there, but well, you know, Kurma can take that out when he wants. Actually, I really like the stone Kurma added in a little bit later. Somebody came in and added some like stone there. I like that. But yeah, here's the main building. I think I did a fairly decent job on this in the like short amount of time that I had. Like, don't look too close, man. These windows are kind of scuffed. Oh man, the terrain around actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. And especially with the comic filter, you guys may notice we put the comic filter on this. It makes this build just really pop. Okay, look at these sculptures up here that Kurma did. These are actually really, really good. And then here's the one that I did. Hey, you know what? It turned out not bad. I think Kurma and Wertandrew touched this up quite a bit. Grandma Tsunade is looking so legit. Man, I just love when a build comes together. This is just gorgeous. So there you go, guys. Have fun running around the Leaf Village.